Hello, good day guys. In this video I'm going to give an explanation to the new system upgrade and some key things you should note. Okay, we are going to work all the calculations so that you guys can get a better understanding. Okay, so I'm going to be using one of my accounts which was a previously a VIP2 account. Okay, and it was upgraded to a VIP3 because I selected this account because it's going to let us have a better understanding. Okay, so the key things you should note is that every calculation on this new system upgrade is at the currency flow. Okay, so when you tap on the currency flow, the first thing you are going to look for is the date. So you move to the right side of the page and you look for 27th of December because this new system upgrade started on 27th. So you are going to look for that date. Okay, so I can see it here, 27th. My previous transactions were on 17th. Okay, so the top one is 27th of December 2020. Okay, so if you are using your phone and after checking the date, you move to the left side of the page, you slide to the left, and you can see consumption limit import member upgrade, and you can see that it's 90. Okay, the consumption limit is the limit at which you can purchase from the new retail area and then the wholesale area. Okay, so when the consumption limit is zero, you can't buy at the new retail and the wholesale. Okay, you see every account has its consumption limit. Okay, that's why anytime you finish with the purchase of a product, you can't purchase again because if you should observe very well, after purchasing from the new retail and the wholesale, you see that your consumption limit in your account will be zero. Okay, so anytime your account is credited, your consumption limit is again given to you. Okay, for VIP2 your consumption limit is 90, for VIP3 your consumption limit is 180. Okay, that's why you can't buy again anytime you've purchased from the new retail and the wholesale. You can't go to the system again to purchase your product unless your account is being credited, and it will be credited also with a consumption limit. So with this account, it was a previously a VIP2 account which was upgraded to VIP3. So now the consumption limit 90 here was an additional consumption limit because now that is a VIP3 account, I'm going to need 180 consumption limit. Okay, so the system, my account already has 90 and the system has credited my account with another 90 consumption limit, but that one is not something necessary to note. Now the next thing we should note, the necessary one we should note here, the most important one most people were so confused about and crying about, is the CHY point. Okay, so you can see that we have CHY point import member upgrade. CHY point import member upgrade, you can see we have minus 50 here, meaning 50 CHY points has been deducted from our account. Remember I said anytime you log in and you want to check for this calculation, you should note the date from 27th. Okay, so we've talked about the consumption limit. We are now going to the CHY point. Okay, so the CHY point 50 has been deducted. So let me show you guys this. Previously my point was 70.70. okay, so 50 has been deducted. And let me show you guys why the 50 was deducted. You know when you are upgrading from a VIP2 to a VIP3 account, 50 consumption points is what is needed to upgrade. Okay, the consumption points is what is used to upgrade or to activate an account. So moving from VIP2 to VIP3, the consumption points needed is what? 50. That was why the 50 was deducted here. Okay, that was why it was deducted here. If you are moving from VIP 3 to VIP 4, the consumption point needed is 200. That was why most people were so much affected because they were moving from the VIP 3 to the VIP 4 and the gap within that one is very wide. Okay, so that was why most people were so much affected because consumption points needed from VIP 3 to a VIP 4 account is 200. Okay, so if you don't you have if you have less than the 200, you see that, let's say if you have 100, the consumption points, if you had 100 points in your account, the consumption point that will be deducted will be 100. So you can see that at the top you have amount to pay also 100. But for this one, the amount to pay here, I don't have 100 because I've already paid for my consumption points. Okay, the system has already deducted for the consumption point. But if your consumption points, if your point wasn't enough to pay for the consumption points, you would have seen that on top of the CHY point import member upgrade, where you were deducted a point, if your points weren't enough to settle the consumption point the system was using to deduct, you would have seen that you will have amount to pay, and you would have minus and the amount needed. So let's say you were on a VIP2 account and you're on a VIP3 account, and then you are being upgraded to a VIP4 account. Let me work this out here. Okay, so let's say you are on a VIP3 account and you have been upgraded to a VIP4 account, and you are already having 100 points. 200 points is needed to upgrade, so it will be left with what, 100 for you to pay. Okay, so when you come to this side, you see that amount needed to pay, that is, if you are still owing for the consumption points, is going to be minus what, 100. But because for my account my account has already been settled for the consumption point. Okay, so now amounts need to pay, I have 180 here, 180 because the system has given me 180 points to use for my trading. Okay, to use for my trading in this account. So that's the same as the advanced credit. Okay, that's why when you come to this side and you tap on my account, and you move to the bottom side of the page, okay, you can see that advanced credit 180. So this is the 180 advanced credit I'm going to be using to trade now in my new VIP3 account. Okay, this 180 is what I'm going to use to trade now in my new VIP3 account. If you're on VIP4, you are going to see 540 there. That's what you are going to be using to trade there. Okay, now let us move back to our currency flow. Okay, so you can see it here. So amount need to pay, that's the 180. Okay, and that, so it's the same as this advanced credit. Amount need to pay because I have to pay 180. I still have 180 trading capital I have to pay for, and then the advanced credit 180 is also the same thing, showing that the company has given me 180 180 points to trade. Okay, so is this advanced credit you are going to use to trade. This time you are not going to use your CHY point to trade, you are going to use this advanced credit to trade. Okay, now let's move to the top side. We have amount to pay, deduction to be paid, minus 630, minus 6.30. Okay, the reason is that my account was credited. This was a previously VIP2 account. Okay, and VIP2 account, every 10 to 12 days you earn $7. Okay, now this is why we have the minus 30 here. Let's go back to the calculator. Okay, now the company is taking 90% of the profit and giving you 10%. They take 90% and they give you 10%. Now let us work this out here. 90% is 90 divided by 100. So you can note this somewhere, that the 90% is equal to 0.9. So this is how the calculation is going to be. 0.9 times the $7 profit. My account was credited, and then the profit I have to earn from my VIP2 account is $7. So 0.9 times 7, okay, is 6.3. So the company is taking 90%, which is the 6.3, and they are giving me 1%. Okay, so the 1% is 0. So okay, I'll get to that, but I want to show you guys that the 0.9 times the 7 is 6.3. So that's what the company has taken. Okay, so you can see it here. Amounts need to pay, deduction to be paid, minus. So that's what the company has deducted. Okay, and they said have paid, income paid is the same thing, 6.3. That means that's what I've paid. Okay, and now when you move to the top, you can see CHY point income 0.70. You know why? Because the company is giving me 10% and they are taking 90%. So let's check the calculation here. So I said earlier that they are taking the 90%, which is 6.3. So the remaining 10% is 0.7, because 10% is what? 10 divided by 100, which is 0.1. Okay, so 0.1 times the 7, you see it here, so it's 0.7. Okay, so the 90% they are taking is 6.3, and the remaining 10% they are giving to me is what? 0.7. Or you can do it this way: the 7 minus the 6.3 the company has taken, so it's left with what? 0.7. So if you're on other packages, you can work this calculation: 0.9 times your profit, and then 0.1 times the remaining one. Okay, so if you're on VIP3 and your account is credited with 14, this is how it's going to be. It's going to be 0.9 times the what? The 14 times the 14. Okay, so it's going to be 12.6. So if you're on VIP, if you are currently on VIP3, the company is going to be taking 12.6. Okay, so instead of the 14 and they take 12.6, you are going to be getting 1.4 every 10 to 12 days. Every 10 to 12 days you get 1.4. That's if you're on a VIP3 earning $14. So that was why the CHY point here is 0.7. okay, CHY points accumulated, don't worry much about that. That's the total amount of points being accumulated, being added up. So you can see it here. Now remember that some people were complaining that when the account was credited, their trading capital wasn't part. This was the reason. The trading capital was also deducted to pay for the loan. Okay, so if you check this side, amount need to pay, deduction to be paid, minus 90. So you know when your VIP2 account is credited with $97, so the company took the $90 and then you were just giving the $7 as what? The profit. And even with the $7, the company still takes the 90% and then they give you the 10%. So for those who are looking for the trading capital, sorry about that, the trading capital was also deducted. So you can see it here that amounts need to pay, deduction to be paid, minus 90, and have paid 90. So right now, if you should make the calculation, I have paid for income paid. You can see it here. I have paid my $90, and then I have paid another 6.3. That was when my account was credited. The company took their 90%. So that's the 6.30. So already I have paid this 90. I have paid the 90 plus the 6.3 the company deducted. So already I've paid 96.3. okay, so if you want to check that, you can tap on your loans. So you can see it here. I've paid 96.30. That's what I have paid. Now amount need to pay is 83.70. You know why it's 83.70? Let's work out the calculation here. Now the company gave you 180 points, okay, to trade in this VIP3 account. 180 points to, or using my account, the company gave me 180 to trade in this VIP3 account, and then they again gave me 50. That was the 50 points, the consumption points needed to upgrade the account. Okay, the 50 consumption point needed to upgrade the account. The 180 is to trade in my VIP3. The 50 was to upgrade it. Okay, so making 230 points. Okay, now let's work out the calculation. The 230 points minus, if you are still following this video, you would understand better that I said previously that the company deducted my 50 CHY points to pay for the consumption, okay, or for the upgrading. So this 230 minus the 50 the company deducted, my CHY points 50, and then it's left with 180, and then my account was also deducted by the 96.3. okay, if you are still watching video, you understand my account was deducted by this 90, my trading 90 here, and then my profit of $7, which the company deducted the 90% from it, which is a 6.3. So that was a 96.3. okay, so you can see that it's left with the 83.7. okay, 230 minus the 50, my 50 CHY points that was deducted, and then what I have actually paid is the 96.3. so it's now left with 83.7 points for me to pay. So now anytime, now I'm currently on a VIP3. okay, I've not traded yet, but I will be trading, and when I trade now, I'm now on the VIP4, the VIP3. Sorry about that. This was a currently VIP2, and now I'm on VIP3. So now when I trade now, I'm going to be on a VIP3 package, earning a VIP3 profit. That's the $14. But you should know that when the $14 also hits the account, the company is going to take 90% of it and then give you 10%. So 10% is 0.1 times the 14, which is 1.4. so that 1.4 is going to be taken out from your account, okay, and the company is going to take 0.9, which is the 90% times the 14. They are going to be taking 12.6. okay, so the company is going to be taking 12.6. so if you should work the calculation, now, you know, this is what I'm left to pay. okay, let me go there. Amount to pay 83.70. so 83.70, if you should work the calculation, 83.70, if you work the calculation divided by the 12.6, the company will be taking. So in approximately 7 months, I'm going to finish paying for this loan. okay, the 3% and those 3% and 2% hasn't come yet. This is for someone who hasn't referred at all. okay, this is for someone who hasn't referred at all. In about 6 months, you are going to finish paying, and you now own a VIP3 account. okay, so if you are someone who have a lot of people under you directly, you have referred people, you are going to pay this in about 3 or 4 months, okay, or less. okay, so this is how the calculation is done. But if you are on other packages, and you followed this video very well, you can still use those calculations to also work out for yours, and you would understand this better. But I'm going to make another video on an account which was previously VIP3 to VIP4, so that those who didn't still have a better understanding, you can get it easier. okay, but if you follow the video I have here, and you work this calculation, you can get it very well. okay, but if you still don't have any better explanation, you can leave your questions in the comment section. I'm going to attend to it as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, and see you in my next video.